scene. So, Bhagavad Gita, these verses were written by Vedavyas 5,000 years ago, and it is part of Mahabharat. The Mahabharat, the great epic. Do you know how many verses are there in Mahabharat?
700.
No, that's in Bhagavad
Upon
Gita.
its word.
So there are 100,000 or 1 lakh verses. In Srimad Bhagavatam that we recently discussed, there are 18,000 verses. So we can imagine Mahabharata is so big, it is 1 lakh or 100,000 verses. And out of those, uh, there is a section called Bhishma Parva, and in Mahabharat, and that's where Bhagavad Gita comes. It's a conversation between Krishna and Arjuna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So we know the Kurukshetra war happened for 18 days, but this instruction by Krishna to Arjuna happened on the first day of that war. So let's just another thing to note here is Bhagavad Gita, the verses are coming from 5,000 years ago, but there are many people who take the verses and give their own interpretation, and they come to different conclusions. So that's why we have to learn Bhagavad Gita from the right source. And this is Bhagavad Gita as it is, where Srila Prabhupada took all these verses and gave us the right meaning in his translation and purport. So it's very important that we learn the right version of the commentaries, and not from any Tom, Dick, or Harry who comes up with their own concoctions. We need to learn it from the right source. So that's why we are following Bhagavad Gita as it is, meaning how Krishna intended it to be, because anybody can take a verse and give it different other meanings. So that's why we are following Srila Prabhupada, who is authorized Acharya coming in disciplic succession, and we can trace Srila Prabhupada all the way back to Krishna. So, so now setting the scene, all of you probably remember our discussion about Mahabharat, and as we discussed 5,000 years ago. So, who are these? Who is the who are in this picture? There are two personalities in this picture.
Vedavyasa and Lord Ganapati.
Yes. So why is that? Anybody knows the story? So Vedavyas did not write by himself. He was narrating the whole Mahabharata and the Puranas to Lord Ganesh, and he was writing. And what do you remember what the condition was?
Prabhuji, Vedavyas should not stop telling,
Yes,
or
very
else
good.
Ganesha would stop talking.
Yes, very bold, very nice, Shreyaji.
And and Prabhuji, another fun fact is the introduction of the Bhagavad Gita was a class of Srila Prabhupada where nobody came.
Oh, very nice. Okay. Yes. So, Prabhupada's wonderful introduction and purports and commentary, he put in his entire life to compile all this, and he wrote it so well for all of us to follow and read. And Prabhupada left Earth like 60 years, 50 years back, and still we everybody reads this Bhagavad Gita to understand the instructions of Krishna. So thank you, Shreyaji, for that fun fact. Okay. So Bhagavad Gita appears as an episode of Mahabharata. Um, so so it is a dialogue between Arjuna and Krishna before the war. Okay. And Krishna doesn't give this instructions to everybody. He talks only to his devotee because Arjuna is his friend. And we can, when we read Bhagavad Gita, we can see how a friend became a devotee, and because he surrendered to Krishna and he wanted to know what he needs to do. Okay, now we'll quickly touch on the Mahabharata history. So there's the Kuru dynasty, King Bharat, and then Bhishma. So, do you know who is Dhritarashtra's father? So, anybody remembers the story of Bhishma? Do you know Shantanu in the Kuru dynasty? What happened?
It's Bhishma's father,
Yes, Bhishma's father is Shantanu. And who is Bhishma's mother?
Ganga Devi.
Yes, very good. So that's why he's called Ganga Putra Bhishma. And why didn't Bhishma become the king? He was the son of Shantanu, who was the king, the Kuru king at that time. So
Prabhuji, is it because Satyavati said so? That Satyavati wanted her sons to become the king.
yes,
So
so Bhishma
Bhishma sacrificed himself.
took
He,
vows, right? He will not.
he also made a vow. He made a vow that he would not marry and he would lead a brahmachari life
Yes, Hari Bol, very nice.
to the demigods.
Yes, but he could have been king also. So what happened there? Because that was one of Satyavati's uh,
Demand.
requests, right?
Yeah.
Because Shantanu wanted to marry Satyavati, and she and her father's requests were only her sons
Baby,
could
she
become.
wanted Prabhuji, she wanted her baby to become the king next. That
Yes, yes, yes. And to ensure that will happen, Bhishma took this vow that he will never be the king and he will not marry, because they thought even if he doesn't become king, maybe his sons can become king. So he said he will not marry. All the sacrifice so that his his father could marry Satyavati. And then what happened? Satyavati had how many kids? There's Chitrangada and Vichitravirya, and Vichitravirya was not a great warrior. So Bhishma went and got three sisters, Amba, Ambika, and Ambalika, to become his wives. But then, um, Amba went back, and then they got married to Vichitravirya, but he didn't have any kids, and he passed away. And then Vedavyas had to come and bless. Vedavyas was another son of Satyavati um, before she met Shantanu. Satyavati had um, this son, Vedavyas. So Vedavyas had come um, to bless the wives, because there was no progeny and nobody could become king at that point. So then they made so that's when Pandu was born. Pandu, Dhritarashtra, and Vidura were born. Right. So the eldest son was who? No, among the three.
Duryodhana.
No, among the three Pandu, Dhritarashtra, and Vidura, who was eldest?
Dhritarashtra.
Rashtra.
Yes, very good. And how come Dhritarashtra did not become the king?
Because he was blind.
Because he was blind.
Yes, very good. So Pandu was supposed to be the king, and Dhritarashtra was not happy with that because he thought he's the oldest, but he was not fit to become king because a king cannot be blind because a lot of administration has to be done, and the right person needs to be the king. Then what happened after that? After Dhritarashtra and Pandu had kids, right? So how many kids did Pandu have?
5.
Five. Very good. And who were the two wives of Pandu?
Kunti and Matri.
Very good. Yes. So who were the sons of Kunti? So Pandu and Kunti had sons, right? So who were the sons?
Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, and Sahadeva.
Yeah. So Yudhishthira, Bhima, and Arjuna were the sons of
Kunti.
Kunti. Yeah. And who are the sons of Madri?
Nakula and Sahadeva.
Very good. Okay. So now we know who the Pandavas are. And then during that time, there were 100 sons for Dhritarashtra and Gandhari, right? And who was the eldest of the 100 sons?
Duryodhana.
Duryodhana. Very good. Okay. So we need to remember these facts before we go read Bhagavad Gita, right? So these are the main characters. And then what happened um, i- like in Mahabharata? Why did the war happen?
To see who would become king.
Yeah. Yes. So why was what was the reason for the war? Yeah, it is to decide who will become king, but then why was there fighting to become king? So
Because the the
yes,
Kauravas were greedy.
yes, very good. So what happened? So they there was a gambling match. They invited Yudhishthira to come play that, right? And they made Shakuni play instead of Duryodhana, who was cheating in the game, and he made Yudhishthira lose, and then Yudhishthira and the Pandavas and all the five Pandavas and their wife, who was the wife of the Pandavas?
Draupadi.
Yes, Draupadi or Panchali. Draupadi and they were sent on an exile. And before that, they even humiliated Draupadi. You see from this picture, do you remember what happened? So what did they do in the court?
Prabhuji, Drishtadyumna started pulling Draupadi's sari.
Very good. And who came to
He
save
called,
Draupadi?
he called Lord Krishna, and Krishna produced unlimited sari.
Yes, very good. Very good, Shreyaji. So you can see Krishna providing sari. So as much as Dushasana was pulling, he couldn't disrobe her. And Krishna saved Draupadi on that day, and nobody else could save her because they had all lost everything in the gambling match, and they had become servants, and they couldn't do anything. And Krishna came to Draupadi's rescue. So this is a major event that caused the downfall. Um, and even though they went on an exile, Krishna always wanted to punish the Kauravas for doing this bad act. So what happened when they went on exile, and um, and then when they came back, what happened after they finished their exile? The Pandavas went on exile. Their their kingdom was taken by Duryodhana while they went on exile, and they came back to get their kingdom back.
He
In,
refused to give it.
yeah, Indraprastha was their kingdom, right? They cleared a whole forest and made they had made a nice kingdom, and they lost everything, and they went to the forest. They came back, and it was not given back. And then Krishna came as a peace messenger. And what was Krishna's what was the peace message Krishna gave them?
He asked for 5 villages.
Very good. 5 villages. Yes. So for each Pandava, he just asked, just give them one village each, because they are Kshatriyas and they need to, do their duty. And you can even keep their big kingdom of Indraprastha. But then what did Duryodhana say at that time?
He said he wouldn't give them one needle.
Yes,
Duryodhana said he won't even give the tip of a needle.
Hari Bol. Yes. So that is why there was no other way but to have the war, because there was so much injustice happening, and to otherwise we don't like war and violence, but in this case there was no other way but to have a war. Okay.
Exactly, Prabhuji. This is not fair.
Yes. Yes. So even when Krishna came with a peace message, they didn't even give 5 villages. So then there was no other recourse there, and it was very surprising that Pandavas, even though they were in forest for many years, when they came back, they were able to assemble a huge army. But still, the Kauravas had more army. Anybody remembers um, how did Krishna come on the Pandava side?
Prabhuji, one day, Duryodhana came to see Krishna to ask him for his army, and at the same day, 5 minutes like some minutes later, Arjuna came, and then Krishna woke up, and then Duryodhana was like, "Hey, I came here first. Why are you talking to Arjuna?" And then Krishna was like, "I saw him first, so I should only talk to him."
Mm-hmm.
Then
Very.
Krishna asked Arjuna if he want the army or himself. Arjuna, without hesitating, asked for Lord Krishna, and Duryodhana was happy because he thought Arjuna was foolish to ask Krishna instead of his army.
Yeah. Why did he think he was foolish?
Because Krishna's army will make his army bigger.
Yeah, but Krishna has proved that he's very powerful. So how did Duryodhana think Krishna's army would be better than him?
Because it will make his army much bigger.
Yeah, but Krishna had also said one condition, that he will not use something in the war.
Don't use weapons.
Yes.
He would not use weapons or fight in the war.
Yes, Hari Bol. So Duryodhana, with his materialistic thinking, thought, oh, what is the use if Krishna will not fight? In a war, there'll always be fighting, and whoever fights better will win. So he thought, what a foolish Arjuna to select a person who's not going to fight. So was Arjuna foolish?
No.
Yeah, very good. So Krishna became a charioteer for Arjuna because he's not fighting, but he's just riding the chariot so that Arjuna can fight. Okay, so then let's just see here. This slide is just telling that we have to read the translation of the Sanskrit. The Sanskrit verses will be the same in all the versions of Bhagavad Gita you can get, but then how they interpret the Sanskrit, one word in Sanskrit can have multiple meanings. So um, there are bogus people who take the verses and make it into a message that they want to, propagate, not something what Krishna wanted. So that's why we have to read the right version of Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita as it is the right version.
I want some sticky. Prabhuji,
Yes.
Arjuna made the right decision. Because of him, we got the Bhagavad Gita.
Oh yeah. So Arjuna made the right decision, and Arjuna, even though he's a great devotee, he he was put into a situation where he did not want to fight. So and then
That was a good.
yeah. So it is for all of us, right? So Arjuna got into that Maya for some time where he thought the best thing is not to fight, and then he surrendered to Krishna, and we got this wonderful message from Krishna, which is the summary and the essence of all the literature. So just imagine, we took many years to cover Srimad Bhagavatam, and Srimad Bhagavatam is one of 18 Puranas. So just imagine if we were to study all the Vedas, all the Upanishads, the 108 Upanishads, the four Vedas, how many years it would take. But all this has been summarized so well by Krishna in these 700 verses. And this is the greatest treasure we have. So, and because we have the mercy of our spiritual master, with the right interpretation and the right meanings, we can understand Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So in the translation and the commentaries accompanying it, purpose is to direct reader to Krishna rather than away from him. So there are many commentaries that don't give importance to Krishna. They just take Krishna as a historical figure, or even in some cases they say it's a fictional character, Krishna is. But we need the right interpretation, and all the verses should take us to Krishna, who is the supreme personality of Godhead, and improve our relationship with Him. So that's why we should learn from Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita as it is. So it is wholly consistent and comprehensible. Since Krishna is the speaker of Bhagavad Gita, its ultimate goal, Bhagavad Gita as it is, presents the great scripture in its true terms. Okay, so now we'll go to the preface. Um, so this we already know about Srila Prabhupada. We just finished his Leelamrita. But what an amazing personality who dedicated his whole life for Krishna. And he had written a manuscript with the commentaries and translations before, while he was in India itself, but then it got lost. So he had to write that all over again, and it got published in America by Macmillan. Um, with Initially it was not with all his commentaries; it was an abridged version, but then um, when it became so popular, millions of copies have been sold of this Bhagavad Gita because it's coming from this empowered Acharya. So this is how you'd see if you open Bhagavad Gita as it is. So there would be the Devanagari. This is the script, the Sanskrit script can be read if you know Hindi or Devanagari script. You can read that, and then there's a transliteration. So Yada in Sanskrit is written as Yada, so that even only English speaking people can read the Sanskrit, right? So that's called the transliteration or the verse in English. And then there is the translation of the verse. So translation meaning yada yada means whenever and wherever. So that is that's translation. And then the purport. So once we read the translation, what do we understand from this? That means that's the purport. So the translation, purports, and then the synonyms, so word by word meaning, these are all the ways Srila Prabhupada has given this knowledge to us. This Sanskrit part is written by Vedavyas. So we need to understand what is coming from Vedavyas and what is coming from Srila Prabhupada. So we can understand while we read, and also contrast. If you hear some other versions, you know that this would be the same, the verse would be the same, but the meanings and translation and purport will not uh, always be the same, and that's the reason there are many people who follow Bhagavad Gita but in the wrong way. There are many Mayavadis who even say that I am God after reading Bhagavad Gita because they interpret Bhagavad Gita in the wrong way. Hence, we need to read Bhagavad Gita from explained by Srila Prabhupada. Any question on the format of how Bhagavad Gita is presented to us in Bhagavad Gita as it is? Okay. We know about the Krishna consciousness movement started by Srila Prabhupada in 1966, July. We learned all about that in Leela Amrita. So just understanding that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj is the guru of Srila Prabhupada, and it was his instruction that he translate Sanskrit into English so that the Western world and the English speaking people can also understand. So until then, it was like a secret. Nobody really understood the meanings of all these, the Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. And now Bhagavad Gita is a household name all over the world, thanks to this great personality, Srila Prabhupada, who came to America when he was 70 years old and spread Krishna consciousness. So we know this Krishna consciousness movement and the mission to spread the word of Krishna all over the world. And was Srila Prabhupada successful in that? Yes. He was.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes. So what an amazing service this great personality has done for all of us. Okay. So let's dive in. So it's very important to understand that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Krishna and his inner spirit is non-different. We know Krishna's name, form, qualities, pastimes are same as him. So Krishna sitting right next to me like Ayana is same as where if we say Hare Krishna, it means Krishna is right next to us. So we need to understand Krishna's inner spirit is non-different from himself. Krishna is absolute. He's non-different from his name, form, pastimes, qualities. This absolute position of Krishna is difficult to understand if someone is not a devotee in parampara. So that is why we follow this Guru Parampara coming from Srila Prabhupada to us. And before that, there's Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, Gaur Kishore Babaji Maharaj, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and it goes all the way to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then we can trace the knowledge back to Krishna. So when Krishna spoke this to Arjuna. Okay. So this is the other philosophy, like the Mayavada Bhashya. Scholars, politicians, philosophers, and Swamis write commentary on Srimad Bhagavad Gita without perfect knowledge of Krishna and try to banish or kill Krishna. Such unauthorized commentary is known as Mayavada Bhashya, and we got to make sure we don't follow that. Mayavadi Bhashya Sunile Haya Sarvanasha Srila Vyasadev. So Lord Chaitanya has warned us about these unauthorized commentaries. So it'll become total a waste of time if we read other versions. Srila Vyasadeva presented the Vedanta philosophy for the deliverance of the conditioned souls, but if one hears the commentary of Shankaracharya, everything is spoiled. So Shankaracharya, before when he was not fully mature with his bhakti, um, uh, he always mentioned about the Mayavada, that everybody can become God, they can merge with God, and then once he was fully realized, then he said, "Bhaja go with them, Bhaja go with them," and you have to um, sing and worship about Krishna all the time.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
can I sing the disciplic succession?
Yes, please. Very apt time to sing.
Krishna Brahma Narada Vyasa Madhava Nabha Narari Madhava Akshobha Jaya Tirtha Jnana Sindhu Dayanidhi Vidyanidhi Rajendra Jaya Dharma Purushottama Brahmanyatirtha Vyasatirtha Lakshmipati Madhavendra Puri Ishvara Puri Nityananda Advaita Acharya Chaitanya Krishna Chaitanya Chaitanya Krishna Chaitanya Rupa Swarupa Sanatana Raghunatha Jiva Krishna Dasa Narottama Vishwanatha Baladeva Jagannath Bhakti Vinoda Gora Kishora Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Abhay Charanaravindra Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Haribol, very nice. So that's a wonderful way to remember all the wonderful acharyas in our disciplic succession. Great job,
I
Shreyaji.
actually learned this idea in the Sunday classes of ISKCON. VPSS.
Very good, very good. So, um, so let's just finish this preface and then we can go to the Kahoot. So, Srimad Bhagavad Gita preface. Krishna comes only once in a kalpa. So anybody knows what a kalpa is?
The
1 day of Brahma, right?
yeah.
Yes. So there are 14 manvantaras. We said one manvantara has how many divya yugas?
4.
Uh, one divya yuga has 4 yugas, but
71.
71 divya yugas in one manvantara. So 14 times 71 is 1000. So there are 1000 Divya Yugas, and each Divya Yugas has the 4 Yugas we all know, right? Satya, Treta, Dwapara, and Kali Yuga. And if you calculate, so it'll be like 4.3 billion years would be human years would be the day of Brahma. And that times 2 will give you 8.6 billion years. And that is one kalpa. And Krishna comes only once in that kalpa. So we are so fortunate to be in the same Manvantara, the same Divya Yuga that Krishna came and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. Because if we forget about Krishna and not go back home, back to Godhead, we will be born in another Yuga where Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't come. And maybe all this information will get lost and we'll just be stuck here. So that is why we have the greatest opportunity to learn about Bhagavad Gita and go back home, back to Godhead, spiritualize our life. So this purpose is stated in Bhagavad Gita. We have to accept it as it is. Otherwise, no point in understanding Gita and its speaker Krishna. To interpret Bhagavad Gita without any reference to the will of Krishna is greatest offense because it defeats the whole purpose. In order to save oneself, one must understand Sri Krishna as was directly understood by Arjuna, Krishna's first disciple, and fulfill mission of life. The Krishna conscious movement is very essential for human society as it defeats the mundane speculators and make them understand Krishna's position and their factual position as eternal servants of Lord and revive their eternal relationship. Hence, every living being should hear for their own interest. In Kali Yuga, people in general think advancement in material comfort, sense gratification will make them happy. They are unaware of the stringent laws of material nature which is binding them. So instead of satisfying their own material senses, one has to satisfy the senses of Lord. That is the highest perfection of life. Lord Krishna wants this. He demands it. This is central point of Bhagavad Gita, and the Krishna consciousness movement teaches this theme on which take help from Krishna consciousness movement and derive the greatest benefit of studying Bhagavad Gita as it is and become a pure devotee of the Lord. Hare Krishna. So that ends the preface. We don't have enough time to go into the introduction. There's a lot of material to cover there. Srila Prabhupada wrote his introduction, like Shreyaji was telling us, so that we can discuss in next class. So if you are all ready, then let's go into the Kahoot for today. Any questions, comments? Okay, the game pin is 825200. Okay, Draupadi, great devotee of Krishna, has joined. Santoshji and Nitinji are playing together today. Okay, Sri Hariji has joined. Okay, Meenakshi ji, will you be joining? Or are you Draupadi?
I am Draupadi.
Oh, Haribol. Okay. Okay, so can we start? or does Shreyaji want to join separate?
It's just saying sign up or login. It's not coming.
Oh, okay.
I think I need some more time, Prabhuji.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Do all of you have this version of Bhagavad Gita? You? Do you have?
Yes, we do. I do. We do.
Nitinji and Santoshji, do you have Bhagavad Gita?
Prabhuji? Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, very good. So, yeah, very good. So, when we learn, we can probably mark the verses and we can memorize the verses when we start. Because we have already covered Bhagavad Gita at a high level before. Now we can go one step deeper and go into the main verses and try to learn them. I think initially let's go with 50 verses. We will learn, and then probably in a future class we can go to 100 verses, so 50 more. So totally there are 700. That would be ideal if we can learn all the 700. But let's start small. Okay, Santoshji has joined, Srihariji has joined, and Rukmini has joined.
That is fair.
Okay, Srihariji is Rukmini. Okay. Okay, Bhagavad Gita was an episode of Mahabharata, Ramayana, Srimad Bhagavatam, Rig Veda. Yes, Mahabharata.
Prabhuji, I misclicked.
That's okay. You know it. Bhagavad Gita is written by Maharishi Vedavyas, Krishna, Valmiki, Bhishma. Right. So Valmiki wrote Ramayana, and then Vedavyas is the one we talked about. Shreyaji told us how Vedavyas ji was narrating Bhagavad Gita or Mahabharata, and then Ganesh ji was writing. And Ganesh ji's condition was, don't stop narrating so that I can, and only if you stop, I will stop writing. So Vedavyas continuously narrated all the verses. Okay, and then it's Mahabharata's Bhishma Parva has Bhagavad Gita, so not to confuse there. And Krishna is the speaker. Okay, Bhagavad Gita is Lord Krishna's song to Duryodhana, Arjuna, Rama, Kaurava. Yes, very good. Why did Krishna narrate Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna? For only Arjuna to become better, for all of us to live our life well, for showing off Krishna's knowledge, for delaying the war. Yes, it's for all of us, not just for Arjuna. How many chapters are in Srimad Bhagavad Gita? 6, 12, 18, 24. 18 is the right answer. Very good. What is the difference between Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam? Both are spoken by Lord. Bhagavad Gita is spoken by Lord. Bhagavatam is about the pastimes of Lord. Yes. Good. What is the longest chapter in Bhagavad Gita? 1, 2, 18, 10. So we mentioned there are 18 chapters, and the last chapter is the longest. Okay, who spoke the last verse of Bhagavad Gita? Krishna, Sanjaya, Arjuna, Dhritarashtra. Yes, Sanjaya spoke the last verse, telling that wherever Krishna and Arjuna is, there'll be victory all the time. Okay, who spoke the first verse of Bhagavad Gita? Krishna, Sanjaya, Arjuna, Dhritarashtra. And this is the only verse that the person speaks in Bhagavad Gita, actually. Yes, Dhritarashtra. And that's a memory verse. We'll have to learn that verse. Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre. Okay, how can we apply the learnings from Bhagavad Gita in our lives? Chanting the Hare Krishna mantra every day, offering tulsi leaf, flower, or fruit to a picture of Krishna every day, reading and hearing Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, all of the above. Yes, all of the above is the best answer. That's a practical application of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, how many verses in Bhagavad Gita? 500, 600, 100, 700. Yeah, 700. Bhagavad Gita is also known as Rahasya Shastra, Gitopanishad, Niti Shastra, none of the above. Yes, Gitopanishad. Because it's the essence of all the Upanishad, Gita Upanishad. Okay, who is the author of Bhagavad Gita as it is? Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Vyasadeva. Yes, it's Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is Srila Prabhupada, we all know. And as it is, because he gave the commentaries and the translations as it is intended by Krishna.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
Prabhuji, one grammar mistake you forgot to add Srila.
Oh, yes, yes. Srila is actually, we have to give all respect, but I think the space was left less, so maybe I should have just put Prabhupada. But anyway, good reminder. Thank you. Okay, second last question. Why should we study Bhagavad Gita as it is? Has original text, word-to-word transliteration, translation and purport coming in disciplic succession, all of the above. Yes, it's all of the above. It's a good package with the original Sanskrit, transliteration, synonyms, translations, and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Okay, last question for today. Bhagavad Gita as it is dedicated to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Gaur Mohan De, Prabhupada's father, Srila Baldev Vidya Bhushan, Krishna's Supreme Personality of Godhead. If you open Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada has dedicated this Bhagavad Gita to someone. Who is that? Yes, it is Srila Baladev Vidya Bhushan, who is an acharya in the line of disciplic succession, and his Govinda Bhashya commentary is from where Srila Prabhupada got most of the commentary he gave, because he's not making anything by himself. He's just compiling all the knowledge coming in the disciplic succession. So he dedicated it to Baldev Vidya Bhushan. Very good. Okay, let's see who is on the podium. Third place goes to Krishna devotee or Ayana ji. Second place goes to Shreya ji or Rukmini ji. And first place goes to Draupadi or Meenakshi ji. Congratulations. And then fourth place goes to Srihari ji.
Hare
Within
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Vachakalpataru Buddhanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Happy Ekadashi, everyone. Hari Bol.
Prabhuji, I want to show you this drawing.
Yes. Ooh, Hari Bol. Very nice. Feet. This is Radharani's feet?
This is Lord Krishna's feet, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Yes. Very good. So nice. You drew it so well.
Actually, my mom drew it. I'm the one who colored it because my
Oh,
my
very,
mom had some
yeah.
difficulties.
It's very worshipable. So nice to see the Lord's feet with all the markings, divine markings. Hare Krishna. Thank you.